The death of a new mother is bringing more attention to postpartum depression. Ariana Sutton gave birth to newborn twins on May 22nd. 9 days later, Sutton took her own life. She suffered from postpartum depression. Counselor Ashante Wolf and licensed clinical social worker supervisor Alicia Thomas, they are here, both mothers, to talk about it. So, Ashante, for those who don't know what postpartum depression is, describe it for us in layman terms.
Okay, so we can say that it is a medically diagnosed condition that typically occurs a week to even months after giving birth. That's accompanied by intense feelings of anxiety, fear, sadness, overwhelm, crying. It can be very scary for new mothers.
And do new mothers know what's going on with them, or do they think they're just on a roller coaster ride of emotions?
Often they don't if they don't have a conversation with their medical provider beforehand.
And for those who are wondering, what should those mothers do in order to deal with this problem?
Well, I think the first thing, it's very important to kind of understand that they're not alone, right? When they go in for checkups, to tell their doctor or the nurse, and I know it can be shameful to say that, but it's very important to reach out to your support system and say, hey, I'm not feeling okay. A good thing to do is join a support group. It's very important that it's not just for new moms. Sometimes it's your second child or your third child that you may experience the anxiety or depression. And so every time you give birth is something new. And so it's very important to reach out to someone.
And Ashante, how do you get past the shame of telling someone that I'm going through this and I'm feeling not normal here?
One of the ways that I advocate for that is to have a plan. Talk to the medical provider, talk to friends and family, and have a plan after birth. Because sometimes it's scary for moms, they don't know what's going on, but if the people around them are educated about the risk factors and maybe the signs, then they can step in and support.
Alicia, is there enough information out there in the general public for family and friends to recognize what you're going through? And if they do, what should they do?
Right, I think it could be more, right? 1 in 8 suffer from postpartum depression. It can look like anxiety, overwhelmed, hopelessness, like she said. One thing to notice is if that mom is just not feeling herself and sleeping all day, it's encourage her to go out with you, take a walk with the baby, or by herself. Take time out to help where she may not be able to voice, I'm not feeling okay. Help her, deliver meals, come to the home, or even just listen. I think oftentimes it takes a lot to get to the therapist level, but then the closest support system can be the spouse or the mothers-in-law and things like that.
And Ashante, that's most important. Like we saw or we heard allegations in the Andrea Yates case where the husband was not paying attention. How important is it that your spouse, your significant other, your partner is paying attention to what's happening to you after that delivery?
Not only is it very important, but the spouse also needs support in noticing the signs and paying attention. All of the burden can seem overwhelming for the husband or the partner as well. I think that goes into the postnatal, post-birth care. Having more follow-up care with the husband or partner involved can help as well, so that that husband is not alone with spotting what's going on.
And for those, Alicia, who may have this problem, getting the psychological or the mental or the counseling you need, is that readily available right now? Because, I mean, I've received emails from people like, my kid is suicidal, but I can't get any mental health care for them.
Yeah, it is unfortunate, but we do have hotlines, and now there's a postpartum depression international hotline that people can call. It's important that they are looking for somebody unbiased or non-judgmental. It's not as easy to tell your mom that I'm feeling, you know, not okay, right? So maybe they're looking for unbiased support. And it's getting easier. It's as simple as calling the hotline or telling your doctor, and they provide the referral through the EAP, even through your spouses or whoever you're covered with insurance. And so it's getting more accessible. And even when you feel like there's no one that can support me, you can always always join the support groups, even on social media. And so I think that there are many avenues that are available to be explored.
All right, ladies, thank you for joining us tonight.